practice. So when I was in vet school, I had made a vow to myself. My vet school class was the very first class to actually have when we were sophomores. We had some alternative classes, and they basically just talked to us about, oh, there's acupuncture, and there's this really weird thing called chiropractic, which we don't know that much about that. But anyway, some people are doing it. And there's some people do herbs, and, you know, they just kind of got our feet wet a little bit. But it was enough for me to make a vow to myself that within 3 to 5 years after I got out of vet school, when I was in vet school, I made a vow to myself that I really wanted to get Western medicine down, to learn the antibiotics, to learn the drugs, to learn the diagnoses the best that I could. And then I really wanted to start branching out. And it was, as I'm sure everyone on this call knows, when you put those intentions out there, they happen. And so it was just a few years after I started my practice, and clients started showing up saying, hey, I use this homeopathic for this, and I use this herb for this. And I know a chiropractor. Could we try a chiropractor? And it was awesome. And I was open to it all. And I listened to my clients, and I learned so much from them. And so anyway, that started my journey of really wanting, as a practitioner, my goal was to really be able to balance, to bring in as much as I could to help that horse. So anyway, and actually that led me to go on. Eventually I went to animal chiropractic school as well. So I'm an animal chiropractor as well. So anyway, that's a little bit about that. And what started happening after a couple of years of being in practice is I had several clients talk to me about vaccines. Vaccine time would come, the spring would come, time to do vaccines. And I had several people bring up to me that in the past, they had noticed when their horses had been vaccinated, their laminitic, primarily the laminitic horses, their horses would go through a little bit of a laminitic episode after being vaccinated. And it just got me really curious. So I started researching, are there alternatives to vaccines? I mean, I didn't know. All I had been taught is to vaccinate, you know? So I started really researching and just came up against dead end. And finally, oddly enough, I found an awesome technician at the Montana State Laboratory, and she helped me so much. Like, the drug companies wouldn't help me. Other vets thought I was crazy. Like, I couldn't find any information, which seems so crazy right now because there's so much information now, but I couldn't find anyone who would talk to me. So anyway, this technician helped me a lot, and she taught me about titers and, do an antibody, how the antibodies in the titers and all of that stuff. And I'll explain all of that here in a little bit as well. But it was really awesome. She was an amazing teacher for me. So, and then of course, after I started doing this, within a couple years, all the stuff started coming out about the feline leukemia vaccine, and cats getting like tumors at the site where they'd been vaccinated regularly for feline leukemia. So people started talking more and more about titers. That I really look at the feline leukemia thing as the point where things started to turn a little bit, and people started really questioning if vaccinating every year was the right thing, or every 3 years, or whatever the label said was really the right thing. Now I'm going to switch gears for a second. I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to switch gears for a second. And I'm going to talk about my very first euthanasia out of vet school. So I was down in Florida, and I'd been out, a month or two out of school, and the office sent me on a euthanasia. And this was a little 3 or 4-year-old pony, backyard pony. The kids used to hop on the pony and ride the pony to the school bus. Then the mom would take the pony back. And, he was just a backyard pony, a wonderful little pony. Well, they saw him get scratched by a raccoon. So I guess someone in the family killed the raccoon. They sent it off for testing, and it was positive for rabies. So the state told them at that time, the rules have changed somewhat now, but at that time, the only options for the family, the pony hadn't been vaccinated for rabies. So the only option was either to euthanize the pony or to board him at a veterinary facility with an empty stall on either side of him for 6 months. Well, obviously, this is a backyard children's pony. So we all know they're not going to spend, $20,000 on boarding this pony or whatever it was going to be.